Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate that for a small window of time, the Paragon Gauntlet was open to, I think, anybody who could access it. Now, obviously, if you're not Paragon, I guess you can't access it. But for anyone who's Paragon, you could. And I noticed that immediately while I was recording what I thought was a different video and ended up jumping in and completing it well before I had explored the Thronebreaker difficulty. And I do appreciate that the rewards are better in the Paragon Gauntlet than they used to be, and they're even a pretty good step up above the Thronebreaker rewards. That's obviously needed and should be the case. And it's helpful to note that the Gauntlet is just one of those things that should be, I don't want to say hard necessarily because it's probably not designed to be that difficult, but it should be like an extra incentive to fight all the bosses. And yes, if you use Hercules 9 times out of 10, you'll be fine. And so I didn't use any items because I had Hercules, and if I didn't have Hercules, it probably would have been a lot tougher. And there is this like easy mode label when content creators just plow through things with Hercules. And my good friend Katie Candy hates Hercules and thinks he's the worst thing that ever happened in the game. And I get from a competitive standpoint that's the case, but also something tells me that we should be celebrating a champion that is so amazing that Kabam didn't have safeguards for and didn't have the rebalancing program in place with, and apparently didn't test him enough to even know his true potential, because all their fears with Quake, and that's the reason why she, of course, is still not even a 6-star in the game, were multiplied by infinity when Hercules came out, and that's why also Hercules is an inside joke now in the live streams from Kabam, where people will say 7-star Hercules, and they'll laugh and be like, not happening, because they know they screwed up. They told KT1 in a really good interview, by the way, on his channel, shout out KT1, that they would have actually not only nerfed him, but also nerfed Kitty Pryde had they had the rebalancing program in place. So all of that is to say, sometimes you just got to take the W when you get it. And I'm opening these separately because I want to save one for a broadcast, probably Friday night. But I have an extra 6-star Nexus. One from the final month of the It's Morbin Time month, as we like to say in the community, and the other one from, I believe, the Paragon Gauntlet. And I can't get 6-star Nexus to save my life on Cav crystals or Cav Nexus crystals. I do think it would be really fun if 6-star Nexus were in Paragon crystals and featured Paragon crystals. And I think that time is now. And I know they don't want to do 7-star Nexus, and I respect that. But come on. Like, 6-star Nexus aren't going to break the game at this point, and they're so much fun to open still. And yes, as somebody who's technically hunting Sandman, he could be in this. So let's throw the first one down, and Max Sig crystals are always appreciated, of course, as well. But show us Sandman. Alright, so I don't know if I even realized, excuse me, that Guillotine was 19 SIGs away. You might be wondering why SIG 181. Well, I think I got her accidentally in the basic 6-star arena once. I want to say that was the case. And so Medusa, I also couldn't get for the life of me. I had to use selector crystals to get her. And so it is quite ironic that after using an awakening gem on her, I pulled her twice more. This is obviously the second time. She was at SIG 1, which is why she's now at SIG 21. But Max Sig Guillotine is the choice here. And I appreciate that is indeed the case, because Max Sig 6-stars, of course, lead to more 7-star shards, and the domino effect of crystal shards just keeps going. And so when we do this, max level reached, cursed aura, and yeah, I mean, I just opened a 7-star crystal this week, so I am still a ways away from opening another. Yes, I've got one more 6-star Nexus, but again, I'm going to save that for a live stream. So YouTube, I appreciate you watching. I realize crystal opening videos aren't really interesting to most people unless they're new, now, but there's still a tradition on the channel, and one could argue that my channel might do better if I just stopped recording crystal openings. But they're a tradition, and I didn't start my channel with the goal to ever make money. And so I have not changed my philosophy, which is if I enjoy doing something and recording it, even if only one person watches it, I still want to upload it. And yes, that might hurt the algorithm, it might hurt subscriber, view, whatever. But I don't need this channel to be happy. It's just like my bonus me time, my bonus community time. And so I get to be a little selfish with my content, and instead of just doing what works the best on YouTube, I get to do what I enjoy the most, and crystal openings are still a top reason why I play this game. So good luck to everybody's Nexus hunting. I don't know if you want to max sig guillotine someday, but if you do, check her out on my channel. She's max sig, naturally too, except for one sig, which is kind of a wild thing to say.